Imagine your life changing because you bought something everyone else called useless. Students, factory workers, small shop owners, ordinary people who became Bitcoin millionaires. This is how it really happened. Welcome to DCA Crypto. In the next 10 minutes, we'll share 3 real story archetypes, the choices those people made, and the exact lessons you can apply to your DCA plan today. Meet the student archetype, a college kid who treated Bitcoin like a tiny, recurring bet. Part of pocket change, part curiosity. No timing, just habit. He started buying $10, $20 each week during class breaks. Some months he forgot. Some months he added extra. He wasn't chasing headlines. He was building a habit. Over years, dips didn't scare him. The habit smoothed entries. This student's approach was simple, yet powerful. Every Wednesday, between his economics lecture and lunch, he'd open his crypto app and make a small purchase. It didn't matter if Bitcoin was up or down that day. The goal wasn't to time the market. It was to be in the market consistently. There were weeks when his friends laughed, calling it internet money. There were months when the price seemed to do nothing but fall. But our student kept his cool. He understood that his small, regular purchases were like drops in a bucket. Over time, those drops would add up. Fast forward. Compound gains and patience transformed a tiny habit into meaningful wealth. The student didn't become rich overnight. He became rich because he stayed put. His story teaches us a crucial lesson. In the world of crypto, time and consistency can be your greatest allies. It's not about making one perfect move. It's about making many good moves over a long period. Next, a factory worker who used overtime pay to buy Bitcoin, not reckless planned. He wasn't techie. He read a few articles, watched a couple of videos, and decided to allocate a small portion of extra income to BTC. When the price crashed, he bought more, not because he loved volatility, but because his rules said by the dip. This factory worker, let's call him Mike, had a simple system. Every time he worked overtime, he'd set aside 20% of that extra pay for Bitcoin. Mike didn't consider himself an investor or a trader. He was just a guy who saw an opportunity and decided to take a calculated risk. Mike's friends at the factory thought he was crazy. Why throw money at something you can't even hold? They'd ask. But Mike had done his homework. He understood that Bitcoin was more than just a digital coin. It was a new kind of financial system, and he wanted to be part of it, even if in a small way. The beauty of Mike's approach was its simplicity. He didn't need to understand complex trading strategies or spend hours analyzing charts. His rule was straightforward. Overtime money goes to Bitcoin. This rule served him well, especially during market downturns. When others panicked and sold, Mike saw it as a chance to buy more at a discount. Years later, his position appreciated dramatically. He used gains to pay off debt and fund a small savings plan. The takeaway: angle your risk by capacity. Small allocations repeated over time can compound into life-changing sums. Micah's story shows us that you don't need to be a tech genius or a Wall Street pro to benefit from Bitcoin. You just need a plan and the discipline to stick to it. Finally, a small cafe owner who accepted Bitcoin for payments and quietly started converting a portion of cash receipts into BTC. She didn't gamble the business. She set rules. Keep operating capital in fiat, convert a small percent of profit to Bitcoin, and reinvest marketing gains into growth. When BTC rallied, her balance sheet looked very different. This cafe owner, let's call her Sarah, was ahead of her time. While other businesses were still debating whether to accept credit cards, Sarah put up a Bitcoin accepted here sign. It wasn't just a gimmick. It was part of a larger strategy. Sarah's approach was cautious but forward-thinking. She knew her business needed cash to operate, so she never risked her ability to pay suppliers or employees. Instead, she looked at Bitcoin as a way to potentially grow her profits over time. Her system was simple. 5% of each day's profit would be converted to Bitcoin. On good days, that might mean $50 worth. On slow days, maybe just $10. But day after day, week after week, her Bitcoin holdings grew. What made Sarah's strategy powerful was its integration with her existing business. She wasn't trying to become a full-time crypto trader. She was running a cafe and using Bitcoin as a tool to potentially increase her wealth over time. Her business stayed stable but gained optionality. The lesson: integrate crypto into an existing plan conservatively. Operational safety first, upside second. Sarah's story teaches us that embracing new technology doesn't have to mean taking wild risks. It's about finding ways to incorporate innovation into our existing lives and businesses in a responsible way. Across all stories, we see repeatable patterns: discipline, small recurring buys, rules for dips, and the mental mindset to ignore noise. None relied on perfect timing. These patterns aren't secrets, they're habits. Whether you're a student, worker, or entrepreneur, a consistent rules-based approach is what separates hopefuls from those who actually build wealth. The student who bought weekly, the factory worker who invested overtime pay, and the cafe owner who converted a portion of profits, they all shared a common thread. They didn't try to outsmart the market. They didn't wait for the perfect moment to buy. Instead, they created systems that allowed them to accumulate Bitcoin steadily over time. This approach, known as dollar cost averaging or DCA, is powerful because it takes emotion out of the equation. When prices are high, you buy less. When prices are low, you buy more. Over time, this tends to result in a lower average purchase price compared to trying to time the market. But perhaps more importantly, this approach helps build the mental fortitude needed to succeed in the volatile world of cryptocurrency. By making regular, small purchases, our Bitcoin millionaires were able to weather the storms of market crashes and resist the temptation to panic sell during downturns. Now, let's break down how you can apply these lessons to your own crypto journey. We'll cover 3 practical steps that anyone can implement, regardless of their background or current financial situation. Step 1. Automate a small amount weekly. $10, $50 depending on your budget. Make it a bill you don't question. This is about building a habit, not making a big splash. Start small if you need to. The key is consistency. Set up an automatic purchase with a reputable exchange, just like you might set up automatic bill payments. Step 2. Set simple rules for dips. If BTC drops X% from your last buy, add Y% to your next buy. Keep rules simple and written down. For example, you might decide that if Bitcoin drops 20% from your last purchase price, you'll increase your next buy by 50%. Having these rules written down helps you act rationally during emotional market swings. Step 3. Custody and safety. Learn basic self-custody or pick a reputable custodial provider. Protect your gains before they protect you. This step is crucial. Remember, you're not just buying Bitcoin, you're taking responsibility for your financial future. Learn about hardware wallets, understand the importance of seed phrases, and never share your private keys with anyone. Ordinary people became Bitcoin millionaires, not by luck, but by discipline and consistent action. If you want tools to start a simple DCA plan, hit like, subscribe to DCA Crypto, and comment start. I'll pin the best replies with a free checklist. Remember, the journey to becoming a Bitcoin millionaire isn't about getting rich quick. It's about making smart, consistent choices over time. It's about educating yourself, managing risk, and staying committed to your plan even when the market gets turbulent. The stories we've shared today are just the beginning. Every day, more ordinary people are discovering the potential of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. They're not all becoming millionaires overnight, but they're retaking control of their financial futures in a way that was impossible just a decade ago. As you start your own crypto journey, keep these stories in mind. Let them inspire you, but also let them guide you. Learn from their patience, their discipline, and their willingness to start small and grow over time. And most importantly, remember that your story is still being written. With the right approach and mindset, you too could be the next ordinary person to achieve extraordinary results in the world of cryptocurrency.